for $5 only. This exclusive offer we are doing for all of the students. The second thing we have going on right now is large one-topping pizza, only for $11.99 for pickup only. So that's what we are doing exclusively right now.
Yeah, I love the pizza over at Jets. What other kind of stuff that ties you up with this initiative?
So basically we are big into community and we love to serve community. So what we are doing right now, we are doing $5 off of 8-corner pizza. We are doing $5 off of all the special pizza that we have. Especially we also have Jets bread, triple cheese turtles. The breasting is pretty good. It goes with the marinara sauce and garlic and all the good stuff that you guys we have whatever you like. And especially our wings are so good. It's and we serve a lot of it. Thank you for having me.
unbelievable talent. I think whoever you put him against, he's got a shot at playing unbelievable and having a legacy game as he did against Maine South. Pretty much carried our team to a victory.
236 rushing yards in that game.
All right, we're going to have to cut to the field as the game is just about to start.
Just want to say that Brandon Jenkins told me he needs 250 yards and he'll be top 3 in the state.
All right, let's see how we do.
He's top 10 right now.
So as we go to the opening kickoff, the Huskies will receive it. It'll be an attempted onside kick. First play of the game. Right down low. Let's see who recovers it. The Bison seem to be on top of it right away.
Looks like it's going to go for the Huskies, though.
Wow, big time recovery. You know, surprise onside kick. You know, reminiscent of down in Arkansas. I don't know if you know the coach who never punts always goes for 2 points.
I did not know that, actually.
Won 9 state championships. Coach Kevin Kelly, Arkansas head coach down for their high school team. So that's one of his moves, opening up with an onside kick. And we'll get our first look at the Huskies offense tonight, led, of course, by quarterback Colton Gamino, the senior UCLA commit. Hasn't had his strongest year, but he's been played much better as of late.
You know, he had a great game against Maine South as well, with a lot of running with Brandon Jenkins.
Speaking of Brandon Jenkins, here he comes rushing up near the left hash mark, breaks the tackle, and has some space at the 30, and he'll be down at about the 24-yard line. Big-time rush from Brandon Jenkins on the first play of the game.
His ability to break tackles is unmatched in the MSL. It's unbelievable. He's able to just break 1 or 2 tackles almost on every single run, maybe even 3, as he stiff arms the guy to the ground there, too, before he goes down.
Brandon Jenkins taking over at running back for Nasir McKenzie last year, who set the school record for rushing yards in a single season.
Some huge shoes to fill there, but he's doing a fantastic job so far this year.
He's still got another year to go. I mean, he's got potential. He might just beat the record himself.
He's been playing phenomenal two-way defense as well. It'll be a fake. Nice play action there from Gamino, finding his open man down the middle. That's Josh Riggs breaking in down inside the 5.
It's a pretty huge hit there Josh Riggs just took, but he gets up instantly.
Josh Riggs, the sophomore, we've seen him pop off this season, although in the beginning he had a little bit of hardships, now not able to fully grasp the ball. Now he seems to be able to catching everything. I think it's going great for him.
10 receptions this season for 174 yards and 1 touchdown from, once again, the sophomore Josh Riggs. I played with Josh Riggs.
Did you
in
really?
Baseball once. He subbed in because his older brother Joe played with us.
How'd he play that game?
He played good. Got a hit.
Got it.
Pistol formation, it'll be a handoff. Jenkins will try to bury his way in. He'll be down at about the 3, so it'll be 2nd and goal for the Huskies. Back to Brandon Jenkins. He is at 758 yards on the season entering this one, averaging 151.6 per game. And he's got 4 100-yard games already.
He's just been dominating every single game. It's hard to stop a man like Brandon Jenkins.
I mean, to go, or Q-Tip, you can speak.
As I said before, he's already top 10 in the state. He's going for top 3. He might just be able to make it happen. He's got the talent, he's got the skills, he's got the speed.
Handoff now to Jenkins. He'll bury his way in for a Huskies touchdown.
And a great start as confetti is going off in the Orange Crush, and they're loving it.
This is the homecoming night football game. Everybody in the student section seems to be everybody from Hersey. I mean, so many people out at this game. It is an orange out. Confetti went off. I mean, it's such an electric game already.
Surprisingly, BG's student section is pretty small tonight.
Yeah, very unusual for BG. They have great fan support. They travel well.
One of the smaller crowds we've seen in Goins Stadium so far this year.
You know, it's got to be fright when you're playing against Hersey. All the students are scared.
My bad, Q-Tip. Chase Reese with the extra point. And it's 7-0 Huskies.
Great start for the Huskies. That's exactly what you needed.
That's Brandon Jenkins' 6th touchdown of the season. Giving the Huskies a perfect lead. That was, what, 4 plays?
4 or 5 plays there. That was just the exact drive you need to start off a game. Assert dominance.
4 plays, 60 yards for the Huskies on the opening series. Exactly what you want to start. Trying to get that 2nd conference win. Currently in 2nd place in the MSL East, behind only Rolling Meadows. Chase Reese will be kicking off. Sets the ball up on the left hash mark. So 2 men deep in the backfield for the Bison. Looks to me like it's Alex Brannis. So the Orange Crush gets going as Chase Reese prepares for the kickoff. The boot is good up in the air, deep in the backfield. It will be Brannis taking it out. He's now at the 10. He cuts across the middle of the field. Wrapped up quickly by about 4 Huskies. He'll be downed right near the 13-yard line.
That was an unbelievable kick. Caught it about at the 2-yard line. That's exactly what you want.
Well, we saw from the Huskies last year, they brought in Danny DeRay late in the season, and he became a game changer with his big leg. You know, for Chase Reese to be able to get it nearly a touchback realistically is absolutely necessary for this Huskies defense.
We've had 4 kickers we had 4 kickers in our first 4 games, but it looks like Chase Reese has solidified himself in that spot.
Chase Reese, a baseball teammate of ours.
Yep. Center fielder, he's one of the fastest kids I've ever
very
met.
fast.
He's a speed demon.
Former soccer player.
Yes.
This is where he gets that big boot from. Shotgun formation for the Bison, 2 receivers either side. Deep in the pocket, scrambling out to his right, and it'll be a low throw.
Way short there.
Dylan Spedale, the 6-foot senior.
Had a guy open there for sure. Just underthrew it a little bit. Would have been about a 5-yard completion.
This ball's on the 15-yard line. 2nd and 10 for the Bison. 10 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in this opening quarter. Your Huskies lead 7-0. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 1 back next to Spadale. It's a good snap. He finds a quick screen out into the middle of the field. Be a gain of about 6. So that'll be Vincent Romano, 6'2", 200-pound receiver.
That was Luke Koklanis on the tackle there.
Pretty nice hit there from Koklanis.
Able to stop him short. So they'll actually give him 8 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 2 at the 23-yard line.
A stop here would be unreal for this crowd.
Crowd is ready to explode.
You know, there was an email sent out that says no more jumping on the fence because we've broke it in the last 2 home games both times.
The deep ball is way out of the reach of the intended target.
That was about 10 yards in front of him.
Yeah, he was seeking Tyler Baker. Baker wasn't able to get there. You can hear the "who was that to" chants from the OC. And it'll be a quick 3 and out for the Bison, who send the punt team out.
Brandon Jenkins has done a great job receiving punts this year. So as when Tyler Wentink was still here, he was receiving them as well, and he was there. We just have a lot of guys that have speed that can run it back
and
real
before
quick.
Jenkins' 80-yard return, I believe, or whatever that was, Grant Collada was our punt return leader.
Oh, bad punt. It's going to take a bad bounce for the Bison.
Could have been tipped even.
Yeah, I think that Josh Riggs might have gotten to that.
Nice jump from Josh Riggs.
So Josh Riggs, who was a special teams dog of the week a couple of weeks ago, seemed to have made a big play there, and the Huskies will take over at the 37-yard line. We'll get our second look at the Huskies offense tonight. You know, for Colton, he's thrown 67 completions on 115 attempts this year for 1,125 yards, 10 touchdowns, but 5 interceptions. Already his career high.
Started off a bit slow, but he's just been on a roll in these last couple of games. Starting with Maine South is really when I think the turning point happened for Colton.
Nice screen pass out to Logan Clark. It'll be a first down for the Huskies.
Agent Zero slamming through a few guys there. You know, the OC brought in a few speakers tonight. This is the most speakers they've had, and it is blaring this music. It is loud tonight.
No, I'm loving the new OC vibe this year.
They were asking for an extension cord up here too. We don't have an extra one. Would have been even louder.
Before this game started, the main announcer, had to ask them to quiet the music for the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Shotgun formation for the Huskies. Gamino in the backfield will find Brandon Jenkins. He'll rush in. He'll be at about the 10. Breaks a tackle. Finds some space. Diving for the pylon. And he's in for the Huskies touchdown. Brandon Jenkins. A 22-yard reception. Broke a couple of ankles on his way in.
I mean, it's unbelievable. I keep saying it, but there's nothing you can do to stop a guy like that. You need at least 3 guys to be on him at one time for you to get a tackle on him. It's unbelievable.
Two-way threat, Brandon Jenkins. Well, really, 4-way threat. Special teams, defense. He's also got 63 reception yards as a receiver. Well, getting the passes from the halfback position.
Definitely has the biggest play on the year with that pick against Maine South to pretty much seal the deal. And he got the first down 3 plays later.
Yeah. I just want to make note, Johnny, you'll appreciate this. Micah Johnson. Looks like he's in the house.
Back for the homecoming game.
Already dapping up the crowd. I'm hyped to see Micah, that's for sure.
A lot of new faces here coming back.
So as we have a brief moment of a timeout, we just want to say, so far the Huskies, 14-0, exactly what you want to see from the offense.
Less than 4 minutes into the game, and this has just been a dominant performance already. It's the first quarter.
I mean, I know you boys wanted to see a lot of passing plays, but it seems to be mostly short screen passes, get Brandon Jenkins down the field and running it into the end zone.
Yeah, he's been doing a fantastic job. A little screen pass earlier, too. We're going to cut back in.
So Chase Reese once again on the kickoff. Noticing going from the left hash mark seems to be his preferred place to start the kick. Very interesting.
Yeah,
oftentimes you see the kickoff straight down the middle of the field.
What we did see in the first 2 games, he missed almost 4 field goals off to the right only.
Yeah.
He only missed wide right. So knowing he's going to kick it, he might be lining up to the left on purpose.
Another almost perfect kick to the 2-yard line.
Picked up by Brannis. He cuts the middle of the field, taken down, nice hit. I've got Spiro Zafrantidis on the tackle.
Yeah,
Me as well.
pads were popping on that one.
So 8:33 left to play here in this first quarter.
Another huge 2-way player on this team this year has been Logan Clark. He's been unreal on defense. 1 dog of the week on defense and 1 dog of the week on offense the next week. Weeks 3 and 4, I think. And he has just been dominating both sides of the field.
Shotgun formation for the Bison. 2 receivers either side. Spadale takes the snap. Has some pressure quickly and fast, trying to find his way out, and taken down. Nick Alquist with the sack.
Nick Alquist is getting hype on the field. Real excited for it. OC cheering for him now.
Nick Alquist, the senior, former baseball teammate of mine.
Ended his career sophomore year, I believe.
He did.
That was his last year, I
Yeah.
should say. He retired after sophomore year from baseball. As Ben Haynes is walking into the building now. RCB is real excited for Ben Haynes to be here.
Quick play action, rushing out to the left. Taken down right near the line of scrimmage. Matthew Kaput, the running back 1 for this Bison squad. Had a good game a few weeks ago against Deerfield.
Looks like some of the BG crowd is rolling in now. It looks a little bit bigger than earlier. Some of them were just a little late. But walking into the Rolling Goins, I'm not sure that they were excited because they can see the score is 14-0 already.
Well, the Bison definitely having a much more difficult season than they are used to in recent years at 1-4.
Made the playoffs just last year. I believe they went 4-5, the first team to ever not go over 500 to make the playoffs because their schedule was so unbelievably difficult.
Yeah. They also got a very difficult matchup round 1, obviously a round 1 elimination. Nice scramble there from Spadale to escape the pressure. But once again, he's down at about, looks like the 26-yard line, so only a gain of about 1.
It's another 3 and out for the
Johnny
Huskies.
Gata able to snag him there.
It's another 3 and out for the Huskies, and their defense
Stepping up here.
looks pretty good tonight.
I mean, the one thing that I was going to mention in the pregame about the Huskies defense, weeks 1 and 2, what was their biggest issue? Controlling the run game, allowing over 600 yards on the ground in those first 2 games, including a whopping amount of touchdowns, as the punt is much better this time. It'll take a regular bounce picked up there and downed by Xavier Dandridge.
In the Huskies' defense, they did play 2 very, very, very great running backs.
Yep.
In
Played
those
2
first
8A
2 weeks.
teams as well, playing upper class. Really forced them to fight for all their might.
Put up a pretty good fight against Barrington. Warren, not that close of a game, but first week getting out some of the rust a little bit, and their running back for Warren is just unbelievable, breaking through.
In that game, he had 362 yards.
Unbelievable game for
He had
him.
all 5 of their touchdowns.
I believe he won Player of the Week for Illinois.
He did. Shotgun formation for the Huskies. Little play action in motion. Breaking through where 1 or 2 tackles was Grant Collada.
Watching in Paris, Illinois are Dick and Donna Brinkley, Grant Collada's grandparents, who are big fans of the stream, apparently, from
Wow.
what I've been told.
Well, shout out to them for tuning in. I'm not necessarily a familiar voice to them, possibly.
Well, you
I
never know.
think we should give a shout out to Mr. Johnny Fahey. Happy birthday, Johnny.
Thank you,
We might have
Q-Tip.
to sing later on in
No,
the stream.
absolutely not. I hate happy birthday singing.
Well, then we have to do it. Colton will take it himself on a QB keeper, breaks a tackle, and runs over 1. Colton Gamino with a nice pickup.
Something that Colton didn't do a lot of last year was scramble. And there he's just fake flipping it off, and he's going about 15, 20 yards, which is just, he's been great this year on the scramble.
4 touchdowns last week against
Losing
Elk
your
Grove.
wide receiver 1, you're either going to run it or you're going to scramble. And we've seen him scramble a lot these last few weeks, and I think that makes sense.
I mean, he's also had to escape a lot more pressure than he's used to. I mean, we talked about it last year. He did not get hit until the Wheaton-Warrenville South game. He was not touched all season long, and then he got sacked, I think, 6 times in those 2 playoff games. So he's toughened up, and I've been very pleased with the developments I've seen from Colton so far this year.
He's also got a receiving touchdown on a flea flicker earlier this season.
Breaking through a tackle is Grant Collada, has some time and space. Did he make it through the pylon?
They're saying he didn't.
He's going to be short at about the half-yard line, actually.
Wow.
Grant Collada trucking 1. Crowd is booing.
OC's not happy with that call. I truly thought that he got in before the knee got down there.
I thought Grant had a good dive for the pylons.
You know what? I'm sure we'll give the ball to Brandon Jenkins here and just push him through.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see Colton do it, too.
I
mean, he had 6
absolutely
carries
not.
last week, 4 touchdowns.
Would not be surprised whatsoever.
Jenkins in the backfield. Colton lines up right under center. He'll push his way through. He's got it. Colton Gamino with a touchdown.
Looking like the Eagles there, a little tush push. Looking good out there.
The brotherly push gives the Huskies a 20-0 lead.
A lot of people came in here not thinking it was going to be a close game. It's looking like it's not going to be. You never know, though. Maine South started off with a touchdown on their first play of the game. We came back and won, so you can't take anyone lightly. You got to come in full force the whole game.
Yep. Can never take it easy. You don't want to take your foot off the gas pedal. We've seen too many times the Huskies get burned by that. I mean, we even think back to the playoffs last year against Downers Grove North.
Up 21-3. A touchdown got called back from Nasir McKenzie on a kickoff return.
80 yards.
And then they came back, and the Huskies ended up losing that game, which
all
is quite
downhill.
unfortunate. DGN ended up making it all the way to the state championship,
Yep.
where they would finally lose to Mount Carmel, I believe.
Would have been us.
Yeah, well, could have been us.
And I know a lot of those players down on the sideline feel the exact same way as we do in the booth. We had something special last year, and I know as a fact right now on the sideline they still believe they have a special team positioned to make a run.
I feel like this team is stepping up. A lot of younger guys as well. And even 2 years ago, we had a heartbreaking loss to Batavia. One of the windiest games ever. A field goal would have won it. The wind just went crazy, blowing the ball everywhere.
I mean, that Batavia game really feel like it's set a lot of storylines in place for the Huskies team. Haven't been able to exercise the second round demons yet. This year could be that year.
as Johnny said, so many young players out there. I do not think there were this many sophomores starting last year. It seems like 5 this game almost.
Well, last year was mostly seniors starting.
Lost a lot of seniors last year. We really needed some younger guys to step up, and they are doing it very well this year.
A little bit of a weaker kick from Reese this time. Branna still recovering, breaks through one tackle and ripped down.
Nick Alquist with a huge tackle.
Flag in the backfield, however. Did you see anything down there, Q-Tip, that might tip you off to the flag?
I know Nick Jalaka, the sophomore, drew the flag. I believe it was tripping or something of the sorts, not able to get to the tackle. I don't know exactly what the call is, but I know Nick Alquist drew the flag, because that's exactly who they pointed towards. I don't know which team it's against.
Pretty huge hit there, Nick Alquist.
Legal use of hands on the Bison. So
Excuse
good
me,
catch
I
from
said
Q-Tip.
Nick Alquist. I meant Nick
Jalaka.
Jalaka, the sophomore.
Great catch by Q-Tip. See, that's why you have a color
Yeah,
analyst.
we got 3 guys in the booth tonight.
Most we've had for any football broadcast.
I just try to let you guys talk and kind of look at what's happening, you know.
Q-Tip just stands and looks pretty for us.
Feel like that's the goal. Why wouldn't you want to look pretty? Johnny likes to stand there and look ugly.
Ooh,
Wow.
shots
All right,
fired
Q-Tip
from Q.
on the birthday.
Sorry, Johnny.
What a birthday
Wow.
gift. Quickly wrapped up on the run. Jumping up and hyped up is Thomas Mulder, part of the homecoming court this year. Gotta love Thomas Mulder.
He won it this year, actually.
Oh, I didn't see that
He won today. with
Attaboy, Thomas.
a pretty huge crowd. I think there's no way. He was definitely first place in voting. There was so much support in the hallways. Everyone loves Thomas. He's one of the nicest kids in Hersey.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been leading this offensive and defensive line to big games. He had a nice sack there.
100%.
Anyone who knows the Mulder twins knows they're fun people to be around.
Yep.
Shotgun formation, receiver in motion. Immediate handoff, once again wrapped up near the line of scrimmage. Wow, stayed on his feet. I was going to say he was wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, but he kept his feet moving. Gains about a yard.
I think this is the biggest lead the Huskies have had in the first quarter.
We're going to see Chaden Georgia Cockets take that tackle there, and I believe this might be his first game back, second almost, after a big concussion back a few games ago. Chaden able to step back up into this game.
Took a pretty big hit that game.
I do want to say, though, Johnny actually looks very good in his orange dress shirt here. I couldn't find an orange
You know,
one. It is an
Q-Tip,
orange
I'm already angry at you. You can't take back what you said.
Oh, I'm
it's
taking
too
it
late.
back.
Up in the air, almost hauled in.
Had a wide open field but couldn't hold on to it.
Well, Johnny, it's an orange out, and you're the only one wearing orange.
You know, you keep trying to give me compliments. It's already over.
I got an orange tie, but I don't think it's not the same.
Vincent Romano. Can't believe I keep saying Romano. Romano had it in his hands. A great scramble from Spadale, but not able to haul it in.
Well, I
And it'll
think
be a
that was,
third straight.
that,
3 and
that was
out.
a perfect ball.
Yeah.
I don't think he could have placed that much better, and it just slips right through the hands. Had wide open field as well.
I mean, Spadale hasn't had much time in the pocket whatsoever to get the ball out.
This Hersey defensive line is just a bunch of animals.
I mean, that's definitely one thing that I know, talking to a few people. Yes, I still kept in touch with a few people I knew. A much better punt this time from the Bison. Takes a good bounce. Recovered deep in the backfield and breaking through one tackle, rushing out to the left. Cutting through to a flag in the backfield. All the way back. He's at the 20, at the 10. Has one blocker to get.
Wow.
And he will be in for the touchdown. But watch for the flags in the backfield.
That's Grant Collada.
I think I might have spotted a block in the back from the Huskies there. I'm not 100% sure who.
It looks like they will call this back. The Bison don't seem too dejected, and I don't see much celebrating going on along the Husky sideline. A phenomenal kickoff return.
Greg Collada's just got killer speed.
Absolutely. I mean, as I said before, Grant Collada was our return leader behind Brandon Jenkins before Brandon Jenkins got that absolutely insane, 81-yard return?
Yes. They will be holding on the Huskies.
I believe Grant has the most return touchdowns, though. I think that might have been his second if it would have counted.
So the Huskies will have the touchdown negated. Would have been a 60-yard return for Collada.
I hate to bring up bad memories, but DGN had almost the exact same thing.
Well,
And
DGN was a handoff. It wasn't on the kick.
DGN was a Holding by you're
It was
correct.
holding by
It was
Pavlik.
a holding, and Nasir McKenzie ran it back.
Phantom holding,
Yes.
by the way. I rewatched the tape.
I've also rewatched it. I don't know.
By the way, I believe that's Connor Stonequist.
I think it could have gone either way. A lot of old faces coming back to Hersey for this homecoming night.
I am one of them.
Of course, great to see you too.
But you're not an old face.
I mean, I'm kind of an old man. Shotgun formation for the Huskies. In motion is Collada. Quick pitch off to Jenkins. He goes along the left, and he's hauled down. His helmet gets ripped off. There's the flag.
That is absolutely a flag. No way you can do that.
Xavier Dangerich puts his hands up to his helmet, knowing that he just cost his team some yardage. .248 to play here in this first quarter. Your Huskies lead 21-0. On the call tonight, got Johnny Fahey on color, Quinton Bursch over here on color. And if you don't know, I'm RCB. You heard me all of last year. I'm back for my first game of the year this year.
That will be a personal foul there. Face mask.
Yep. And don't forget, we always like to shout out Emily Durkin producing,
Mateo Morales on camera.
our GOAT. Huskies now at the Bison 40-yard line. Shotgun formation, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Gamino. Takes snap, has some time in the pocket.
BG defensive
Makes
line
his read to the left. He'll scramble out to his left. He'll hold it. Nice juke from Gamino. And he'll get out of bounds at about the 27-yard line.
The BG defensive line was jumpy before the play, and he's still able to just break through and get a first down and run out of bounds before anyone can even touch him.
I don't know what Colton was eating all offseason, but this is not the Colton Gamino that we saw in years past.
He's having a fantastic year.
I mean, obviously the UCLA commit, big time.
Big time.
First UCLA quarterback from the Illinois area in several years, I believe since 2013.
Speaking of college quarterbacks, they're playing Shadur Sanders. Perfect timing right now. Ryan, you see
Most overrated quarterback
I totally
in the
agree.
NCAA.
Totally agree.
He will go in the first round, which he should not, but that's one thing. Gamino will keep it again, and you'll hold on to it despite getting wrapped up. Good tackle there from number 14, Andrew Lee. 5'9", 140-pound defensive back. The Bison are smaller, noticeably, than in years past.
Absolutely.
And that definitely could play a role in their struggles, especially defensively.
BG has always been a consistently decent team. They've always been competitive in almost every single one of their games. This year has definitely been a down year for them. They've made the playoffs, I believe, 2 or 3 years in a row.
Yep.
And it's looking grim for their playoff chances right now, unless they can win out and have almost the exact same thing as last year, unless they can come back and win this game.
They did play the Rolling Meadows Mustangs to a tough game last week. Quick flag on the play.
Be a false start.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure on who. I didn't catch it.
Yeah, did you see who jumped off sides?
I did not. I was just looking at the taunting after the play.
Don't blame Q-Tip for who was it?
I don't. Am I obligated to say? Can't be hating against our own
I
players.
think Brandon Jenkins gave a little talking to
There-
because
there we go.
flag was called and a little bit of a late hit. Wanted a flag maybe. Brandon Jenkins likes to get hype.
One receiver either side. Jenkins in the backfield. Camino takes a high snap, handing it off to Jenkins. Cutting through one tackle, finds some space along the right side. In for a Huskies touchdown once again. 29 yards. Huskies go up 27-0.
I mean, is Brandon Jenkins going to do everything tonight? Is he going to score every single touchdown?
I mean,
there was one from Colton Gamino, but,
this is like watching Colton to Carson Grove all year last year.
Yeah, I mean, Carson Grove is a huge loss for this team. We've had a bunch of really good young guys, and Grant Collada, a senior, to step up and take over that spot. Now we got a lot of guys to target to. We mostly targeted Carson Grove in the air last year, and now we just got 4 or 5 guys we could target and be consistent to catch.
Chase is a perfect 4 for 4 on extra points so far tonight. Hands go up and down once again in the Orange Crush student section.
I was wrong earlier. I realized Elk Grove, we were up 21-0. Now this is the biggest lead we've had in the first quarter.
Look at that. Johnny doing some research in the middle of the game.
I didn't even do the research. I just remembered. Totally forgot about that.
I'm sure you were at the game.
I was at the
Of
game,
course.
yes. Got to go to all the games. We played Fiend about 400 times. People in the crowd were getting annoyed. People were throwing each other around, but, you know, it was a good time.
Mr. Brightside now being played. You know, in case you don't know, me and Johnny go way back in the student sections.
Way back.
Lots of fun times in the student section.
Had a little bit of beef in the student section a few years ago. We won't get into the
In fact,
details, though.
What was it, week 2 last week?
I think it was against BG.
No, it was against Fremd.
It was against Fremd. I do remember that
and
now.
funniest thing was doing game day right after, but
That was fun.
Johnny's been one of the best dudes I've been around.
Love RCB. Real excited to have him back in the booth for this game. Anytime you get to talk to RCB is a good time.
Well, I can debate that my own self. Nice kick again from Chase, this time going to the right side, forcing a new return. That's Baker again, nice tackle.
A huge block on it. Looked like Zell Walton there. Got hit pretty hard.
Nick Jalaka, I believe, on the tackle there.
Johnny Gata.
Oh, they gave it to Johnny Gata. I think they were both right there, though.
Gata also a phenomenal hockey player.
And lacrosse.
Gata's been unreal on the defensive side this year. Like, truly unbelievable.
He had a large crowd outside his house when I was driving my way over here. Lots of cars and lots of toilet paper.
Yeah, the cheer team got a bunch of kids last night. I was talking with a few of the players on the field. Got a lot of the guys on the team.
Much more than last year. I know last year it didn't happen as much.
Yeah, going on the way to school, you could see Owen Joseph's house got hit.
Good old OJ.
Owen Joseph does the holding for the PATs and the kickoffs. Or not the kickoffs, the field goals.
Spadale pressured again, has to rush out to his left. And it's a good one. He'll get out of bounds. He'll gain 3 yards on the play.
Shaden Georgakakis forcing him out of bounds.
Has BG gotten a first down this game?
No.
Whole first quarter, no
3
first down yet.
consecutive 3 and outs.
I might have just jinxed it, but hopefully not.
Don't want to hear the announcers jinx from Johnny Fahey, the birthday boy.
Hate to see that.
Arlington Arsenal ace pitcher. Legendary second baseman. One of the best dugout guys in the league.
Got a nice text from Coach Rotundo today.
Really?
Yeah. Coach Rotundo, one of the worst drivers I've ever seen. He's terrible.
So Spadale gets his first completion, and it'll move the sticks. So Johnny, bet you Rotundo would yell at you for the announcer's jinx there.
Luke Koklanis on the tackle.
Yeah, I think I just jinxed it. 30 seconds left in the first quarter, though, and holding him to 1 first down in the first quarter. I'd be quite all right with that if I was the defensive coach.
I mean, the pass rush has been phenomenal. I know. I talked to Rob Martin, former Huskies linebacker.
Rob Martin.
He stays in touch with all the coaches. He actually saw head coach Tom Nelson at his house over the summer.
Did he really?
Yes. And Rob wasn't even home, which was the funny part.
BG is just unable to throw in the air with these corners. Grant Kalata's out there. Brandon Jenkins is out there. We got Logan Clark at linebacker. It's just so hard to get a ball in the air, and they got to run it. And our defensive line is also a bunch of animals, so it's almost impossible to get yards against this Husky defense.
Yeah, but to finish what I was saying, as we move back onto the camera for you, trying to adjust here, this Huskies coaching staff really wanted to emphasize after the first 2 weeks, you've got to rush the quarterback. You have to apply pressure, and you have to stop the run game. I mean, the Huskies were not able to do that whatsoever the first 2 games, and they have been doing a phenomenal job ever since.
Absolutely. The run defense has been phenomenal, not phenomenal. And the air defense was already great, the passing defense. We got a lot of picks from Brandon Jenkins this year so far. Grant Kalata's put great in the back. And as Ryan Contreras-Betts is getting a nice shout out from Mr. Goditis, and the OC is chanting RCP, getting real excited.
I think I gotta wave to the
go
OC.
say hello.
Pretty cool for me. I know most of the guys still in the Orange Crush. I almost trip over Johnny here.
My apologies.
Johnny trying to take me out. Second time? As we'll head back on down the field.
We've seen the defense. As you said earlier, Brandon Jenkins interceptions. He was our interception leader last year. He's our interception leader this year. We see him playing corner and running back. Very versatile player out here. Let's see what he can do in this quarter.
Spadale has some time in the pocket to escape. Almost over the line of scrimmage, but it's a nice completion and rocked.
Took a pretty big hit there.
Braden Wong, 5'9" receiver. You know, that's another thing, height. You know, the Huskies are a much taller team than this Bison squad, although number 62 on that offensive line. I want to see who this guy is. Joseph Godudo, 6'4", 290.
Oh, wow.
He's a big man. Looks like he's the center, too.
Yeah, leader of this offensive line here.
I mean, the center is arguably top 5 most important position on the football field.
Absolutely. Bad snaps ruins the play. You can't have it. And that
Wow.
Looked like it was tipped a little bit there.
Well, also look at the pressure from Bernard Ehrhaber.
You also saw Logan Clark there. I believe half our D-line was up on the quarterback. Just what can you do there as a quarterback?
Nothing you can do at all.
2nd and 10. Ball is on the 50-yard line. It's the best field position so far for the Bison.
You know, I've talked to my dad after a few of these games. He's given me some critiques. I keep saying the 51-yard line, which doesn't exist on the field. I don't know why. I just keep thinking it. I keep saying it every single time, and
That reminds me of Mrs. Fahey called me out last year during one of the basketball broadcasts. Wow, a rifle pass from Spadale. Quickly caught by number 15, Vincent Romano. In case you don't know, we did basketball games as well last year against Meadows. And for whatever reason, I kept saying it's 3 steps for a travel. Well, Mrs. Fay said, tell RCB he's wrong.
Yes.
And there's kind of an inside joke if you know me. I'm not wrong too often when I present facts.
Definitely not wrong.
And everyone likes to talk to me when I am wrong.
When he is wrong, people like to call it out.
It's pretty funny, I will have to admit.
You are good at taking it, though. When you realize you're wrong, you can admit it.
Had to admit it a lot of times last year. Spadale takes the snap. He's immediately pressured and having to scramble. Whoa, look at that little sidearm flip.
Looked like a floater in basketball.
Little Mahomey.
Little bit Mahomey.
I am not a fan of when
Little
Chris
Tony
Collinsworth. Oh yeah, and Romo does
And
it
Romo.
too. They both get Mahomes pretty good. But I mean, you can't deny that is something Mahomes would do.
Absolutely.
So a really phenomenal play from Dylan Spadale there. Starting to get this drive going for the Bison. I mean, they're moving the ball.
Pushing upfield a little bit.
I think if Johnny didn't jinx it.
Anything else I'm doing wrong tonight, Q-Tip, that you don't like?
Yeah, I'll get you 4 more times.
Spadale hands it off, but immediately wrapped up and brought back quite a few yards. Jacob Hensley not able to go anywhere.
Logan Clark with a huge breakthrough there.
And Johnny Gata was also there. Johnny Gata has been on the last 3 tackles, or whatever you want to call them, because this one wasn't really a tackle.
I mean, it feels like after every tackle you hear Mr. Goditis go, and that's another tackle by Johnny Gata. It's every single play he's affecting this game.
I mean, you'll see him on receivers, you'll see him on tight ends, you'll see him on running backs, you'll see him on the quarterback. He's everywhere.
Mrs. Fade, never be sorry. It was probably one of the funniest moments from last season. Spadale takes the snap. Nice deep ball there. Almost intercepted.
Great defense there from
Jack
Flaherty.
Jack Flaherty. Braden Wong was the intended target. Jack Flaherty switching over from primarily a receiver last year. Got into a few games.
Luca Clanis and Jack Flaherty, the corners right now.
Yeah.
You see Brandon Jenkins out there, DB, safety, wherever he is.
I
playing right now.
apologize.
Yes.
Brandon Jenkins is the safety with Luca Clanis. Nice play as the safety from Jack Flaherty.
Yeah. Look at that, correcting ourselves mid-play.
You know.
We're an experienced booth up here, you know.
Absolutely.
Luke Casey, also a safety out there.
Attaboy, Q-Tip.
Well, he always talks to me. I have 2 classes with him, actually.
So crowd gets loud here for 3rd and 13. Shotgun formation, Spadale. He's going to get pressured again, and there's a ball is loose.
That's
Huskies
Nick
recover it.
Alfrist.
Nick Alquist with another fumble, a forced fumble. He did it in the Mid-South game, does the same on pump. What an unbelievable play from Nick Alquist, who has been destroying it at the tight end spot this year.
They call that the peanut punch after Chicago Bears legend Charles Tillman.
And it's going to be recovered by the sophomore Zara Fontes.
Well, the Huskies would have gotten a 4th down anyway on the play, but how about a fumble recovery? Get the defense stuff in the stat sheet. 9:17 to play. 20, or in the second half, or in the first half, I should say.
Second quarter, first half.
Thank you.
There we go.
Look at that, Johnny gets to correct me. He's having a great birthday. What a birthday gift for Johnny Fahey. Blessed with my presence and corrections.
Best gift I've gotten.
Jenkins will take it. Runs over one tackle.
I mean, he's just running through people. You can't stop him. You just got to close your eyes and pray you can get a nice hit on him.
I mean, I've got to say, he's taken after Nasir quite well. I mean, he's got the arm sleeve, same as Nasir, same number, taking over the number 2 spot.
This Husky team the last few years has had some of the fastest people I've ever seen. Carson Grove, speed demon. Nasir McKenzie, speed demon. Grant Collada is fast. Zell Walton.
Going back a few years, Brett Kersmeyer.
Absolutely. Brett Kersmeyer is
so fast.
Unbelievable. Good basketball player as well.
Phenomenal basketball player. Deep ball here from Gamino. Just out of the reach of Collada. He got one hand on it.
That would have been an unbelievable catch.
You know, I don't think Grant Collada saw the ball until the last second. It looked like he was kind of looking for it in the air, and then it almost just plopped into his hand, and he wasn't able to rail it in.
You know, I never really think about it, but it's got to be almost impossible to see a ball with a helmet on there. I played football for 2 years, barely got in.
You played football?
Yeah, I played football freshman, sophomore year. And, I mean, Grant Collada's position there, turning around, finding a ball with a helmet on and a defender on him, it's got to be almost impossible, which just shows how great these players really are.
Handoff here to Jenkins. He'll rush up the middle. Quickly stopped by a few Bison defenders. Sing it, Q-Tip. I know you know this song.
I actually do not.
You don't know Unwritten?
I know we know it. Come on, Johnny, sing it.
I will not be singing on the mic.
I'm a little embarrassed as last time I talked about music on the live stream.
He thought Maroon 5 was Taylor Swift.
I saw the quote book. One of my favorite quotes from
the media quote book.
This media group, you know, we still stay in touch. I've been gone for a few months now, and we still stay in good touch.
Absolutely.
Strong group we have here, John Hersey High School. Nice little play fake here, rushing up is Collada.
Pulled down real hard.
Yeah, hit by 2.
You know, Grant Collada was injured last year, bit injury prone. This year, only time he's come out of the game is a cramp late in the game. He's had phenomenal.
But wasn't the first 4 games he had cramps?
There was a lot of cramps in those first 4 games. A lot of cramps. He was in the game for almost the entire game in week 3 and 4.
Absolutely, yeah, he was. But I'm just saying he was out of the game for cramps the first 4 weeks.
There have been a lot of cramps, but he is just a crucial part of this
Absolutely,
Husky
100%.
offense.
Grant Collada injured for most of last season.
Yes.
So it's always phenomenal to see a injured player come back very strong. We saw that from Nasir McKenzie last year. Who else but Grant Collada gets the ball. He gets to the sideline, stays on his feet, jukes through one tackle, and he's going to dive and get a couple more yards. He's down around the 7-yard line.
I mean, last time we had a broadcast, Brandon Jenkins dribbled a guy like a basketball. Grant's dribbling a guy like a basketball here now, throwing them to the floor like they're nothing. It's unbelievable, these players.
I mean, you could just see they're playing with so much more confidence than what they had the first 2 weeks.
They just want it more than the other team almost every single game. Like they want this win.
You can just see it in the way they brush through tackles.
Yes.
They're not taking the tackle, they're lowering their shoulder. I mean, you don't see quarterbacks lower their shoulder
Never.
much. I'm sure you've seen the Jay Cutler highlight reel.
I have seen Jay Cutler's highlight reel.
I mean, you see Colton doing that. And Colton, he's a big guy, but he's not the beefiest. He's not like Ben Roethlisberger.
Absolutely
but he is
not.
Strong.
And he's able to just go through it. It looks like Lamar Jackson out there sometimes.
You know, adding a second layer to his game. I mean, he's being a good game manager too right now. Very comfortable in the pocket. He's going to have to escape some pressure. He's going to dump it out the back of the end zone.
Looking at Jack Flaherty in the corner.
Looks like that offensive line, 3 of them pancaked one guy.
Yeah.
Well, man, having trouble to get up. He's finally up.
They bring in, Jeremy Zarro instead of Grant Collada. Grant Collada no longer on the field.
Jeremy Zarro.
He's had himself a good season so far.
And he's having a great year. Jeremy Zarro in my business class gave a nice speech, or not a nice speech, nice little presentation last class.
Huskies lined up near the 13-yard line. Taking the snap on a little play fake, rolling out to his left. Here's Josh Riggs diving forward, extends the hands, he stayed up. Are they going to call him in? They're going to call him down at the 1.
I feel like that's about the 20th time this season that Josh Riggs has been down at the 1. I mean, just so unfortunate for him.
His stats would be unbelievable if he was able to just get that one more yard.
I swear,
he's having
I feel
a great
like
time
this is
out
actually
there.
the 20th time he's been down at the 1. I'm being serious.
And like
Every
you said
game
earlier,
he's down at the 1 at least 4 times.
and like you said earlier, ducking the shoulder there. He's not just taking the tackle. He wants to get in that end zone.
And after, you also see him slam the ball on the ground. He really wanted that end zone.
Mino tried a quick QB sneak.
Did it work?
Buried under. I thought he got it. Yep, he got it.
It worked again.
Huskies touchdown once again. Colton's 2nd rushing touchdown of the game.
3 from
Huskies go
Brandon
up
Jenkins.
34-0.
3 from Brandon Jenkins. 2 from Colton Gamino.
And it could have been 2 from Josh Riggs, but Colton's going to run those in.
Yeah, it just Josh Riggs just gets the ball, brings it down the field. Chase Reese out here again.
Hold is good. Kick is good. And the Huskies go up 35-0.
It's not to be that guy, but is there a blowout rule in high school? Is
There's
there
not
a thing?
a
Is there a
blowout
slaughter rule?
Actually, I've had some questions. Last game when we were destroying out Grove, I had Sabrina Nemsek ask if there was a slaughter rule and if we were going to be able to leave that game a little early. Had to let her know that there wasn't. Running clock is definitely a rule, though, if we go up high.
Running clock
I
is
believe it's 40.
40, yeah.
So one more touchdown in the second half.
Yeah, we might see that soon.
Second half it'll start if we're up 40, and it will keep going till the end of the game. RCB bopping his
This
hat
might
to the
be
music.
a premature ending then.
Premature ending?
Well, if the running clock is going to end earlier than a normal game.
That is true.
That is true.
That is
So
true.
what? Why was that so funny to you two?
I like your use of the word premature.
Is that wrong?
Lining up on the right hash now, Chase Reese. Switching it up. I think he just likes that side. Facing this way now.
I mean, Chase is a creature of habit in a way.
Yeah.
That much I do know. Had a similar routine before every baseball game.
Somewhat of habit. Georgie Nagel, who was playing last year, that kid, every time he comes up to the plate in baseball, looks like a robot. It's the exact same movement every single time.
Domi arigato, Mr. Roboto, Georgie Nagel.
Step back into the end zone.
Good ears from Johnny Fahey here, and Coach Pusatera call that one out.
I could see it a little bit, but I heard Poos in the background there.
Yeah.
That's going to be Nick Alquist.
I mean, Nick, a great friend of mine, and he's been playing great these last few games. Like I said earlier, huge forced fumble against Maine South. He did a forced fumble tonight. He's just been unbelievable from the tight end position.
I mean, tight end?
Yes, he's been playing tight end.
How are you forcing a fumble on tight end?
Well, tight end for offense and for defense, he's on the side as well.
Okay.
My apologies. Not tight end.
Yep.
That's on me. I misspoke. I apologize.
Q-tip, where are you on that one? You got to get him 4 more times tonight.
I started feeling bad. I think this makes me look like a wrong person on these live streams. And I didn't feel bad for Johnny. I felt bad for myself because I don't want to have a really bad reputation.
Q-tip, always thinking about himself.
Why wouldn't you? Who doesn't? You're telling me you don't always think about me?
Q-tip, I always think about you.
Exactly.
Yeah, Q-tip.
Everybody thinks about me.
Wow.
My favorite Q-tip story probably over the past 6 months. You know, he works at Dairy Queen.
Absolutely.
Good old Q-tip. He texts me one day. I'm driving in my car, and he goes, yo, RCB, you've got to stop using up all my coupons. And I'm like, what are you talking about using up your coupons? I've never gotten any from you. He's like, oh, my manager said a guy who was bald came in and used up all the coupons.
Oh my God.
And he thought of me immediately.
I gave RCB about 40 coupons.
No, you didn't.
And then the next day, I
See,
get
I
yelled
feel like
at.
that's more your
I
fault,
get yelled
Q-Tip.
at for a bald guy using 40 coupons.
Here's
I
the
think
thing,
it's more
Q-Tip
your fault.
never gave me coupons. That's the funny part.
I swear to God I did. I swear I did.
Q, when did you see me over the summer? Other than the 2 times I went to Dairy Queen.
Those 2 times you went to Dairy Queen, that was about it.
Dropped pass there on the quick out from Spadale.
The quarterback just can't seem to get a screen pass up or anything. He just keeps throwing a little short
His
on
deep
those.
balls are good, but his screen passes are all at
Well,
the
I
feet.
mean, he's got the arm. We saw earlier in the game he overshot a guy by about 15 yards,
Yeah.
which is he's got the arm, absolutely. He just needs to be able to control how far he wants to throw the ball.
Now, quarterback-wise, do you think if we put this this quarterback on playing for Hersey with the arm he has, is it the wide receiver speed or is it a quarterback problem?
I don't know.
Can you repeat that question?
No, I know. So what he's
I'm a bit
essentially
confused.
he's asking, if you were to replace Colton with Spadale, how would the Huskies offense operate?
I think the Husky offense would still be just as good. Would be pretty good.
My
I
next
think,
question would be, is it BG's wide receivers that might be a little bit slower than Hersey's
Well,
and not
I mean-
get to that throw?
I mean, he's obviously not as good of a scramble as Colton Gamino. Colton Gamino, obviously the better quarterback in my opinion. He's playing unbelievable the past 4 games. He's able to lead this offense fantastically. He's got good connections to all of them. They got the chemistry on this team, which is huge for a quarterback. He's able to lead the offense up the field almost every single drive. I think if we put in the BG quarterback, I don't think it would go very well. I think he'd be able to get a few deep balls on some guys, but that's about it.
3:35 to play here in this first half. Huskies lead 35-0, which was the final score of the game against Buffalo Grove last year. Nice pass from Spadale and a nice catch.
You know, another game last year that was a bigger blowout than I thought. Prospect.
Yeah.
Absolutely killed. I think it was 35-3.
Yep.
Final score. Only got 3 points on us. Their offense was not bad last year either. They went, I believe it was 8-1.
I believe so. Yeah,
I
I
think
believe we were their
their only loss.
8-2.
8-2.
Or 6-2.
7-2.
Or 7-2.
7-2,
Oh my God.
which
What
is-
happened to our math?
Which is it just shows how good our defense was last year, and the guys this year are also stepping up and being great.
Another deep ball here from Spadale, right over the shoulder, and wow, what a play!
These receivers
What a
just
strip
can't
there.
make
I
the
believe
play.
that's Luco Clanis.
Yeah, it looks
Yes, it
like
was
Luco
Luco Clanis.
Clanis.
We saw Luco Clanis on the previous play with an absolute monster hit. Now he's able to strip it away, or I guess a dropped
Batted away,
pass
yeah.
there.
I mean, that was a dot.
Luca Clanis, Jack Flaherty, and Luke Casey all on that receiver there. And all the lead balls from the receivers, they keep going right to their hands and either stripped out or just dropped. Can't have the deep play. And
Well-
you need the deep play against the Husky offense. You need some big plays. Maine South they had 2 big plays in the game and then 1 pretty good drive. But other than that, they had the 1 good drive where they scored 7, and that's it.
The Koklanis family has given a lot to Hersey football with players over the years. Spadale now scrambling out. There's Nick Alquist ripping him
Again
down.
with a huge hit. He is having a night. I'd say dog of the defense so far.
So far, I would say
Forced
that as
fumble
well.
and a few.
Now, would
huge
you
tackles.
go Nick Alquist or would you go Johnny Gata? We've seen Johnny Gata on almost every tackle.
That
This
is
is a
fair.
big defensive player out here as well.
Co-dogs of the week.
We got 2 more quarters left though. We got a whole half. We'll see who can get a few more tackles.
I also think Luco Clanis could be in the running.
Absolutely.
We've seen some
Luke-
amazing stuff.
If Luke grabs a pick, I could totally see that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, Luke, I think, has less tackles than everybody else, but I think he has the biggest tackles. We see just monster hits from Luco Clanis
huge
out
hits.
here.
I mean, we're
And
also
a
seeing
nice strip there as well.
yeah, good secondary defense, locking up the receivers.
I also think it differs on position. All 3 of them playing different positions out there.
Absolutely. Wow, look at the blitz there from the Huskies.
A
Rocking it,
huge
Thomas Mulder.
Thomas Muller threw him to the floor like he was nothing.
Thomas Mulder
lays the
also
boom.
has 2 sacks this game so far.
Thomas Mulder brings the boom.
Reminds me of that movie, Here Comes the Boom.
The movie.
Q-Tip, I think you completely
mean the
missed
song.
what we said.
I think you mean the song, or I was
Tell
trying
me
to
you
say
don't know about
Big Justice.
Big Justice?
Oh,
AJ?
the baseball guy.
Boom! The double chunk chocolate cookie. You want the chicken bake there, Q-Tip?
I'm not a Costco guy.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I think we're all Costco guys.
Love Costco.
On the inside, everybody is.
Q, are you the Rizzler?
I'm the Wizard of Oz. That's
Oh,
what they
God.
call me.
This is terrible. Can we change the subject? That was terrible.
I taught my mom what Riz is, and now she uses it 24/7.
Wow, that's... Wow.
Durkin's dying over here in the producer chair. This is just like we never left.
It's always fun up in this booth. There's never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment.
Especially with Q-Tip.
You guys just laugh at everything I say. Like, sometimes I really don't think it's that funny. And I'm just standing here with a straight face, and you guys are just about to fall over. I just don't get it sometimes.
Oh, man, we love Q-Tip. You know,
Love Q-Tip in the booth.
did a few games with Xander Burke last year.
Yes.
And let me tell you, those games did not get nearly as many laughs. Love Xander, but Q brings a different type of energy.
I remember last year, I saw somebody on the ground. I said a bruised muscle that I thought it was.
Oh, Q?
And the next day, everybody laughed at that.
This reminds me. You said you thought he had a broken metatarsal?
Bruised.
Or bruised metatarsal? Guess who has a broken... And it's picked off by Brandon Jenkins! Too busy talking about bruised metatarsals. Jenkins breaks through. He will go all the way. A pick six for Brandon Jenkins, the two-way stud.
And he broke 2 tackles. That's his 4th touchdown of the game. 3 on offense, 1 on defense. I mean, what can you do against Brandon Jenkins?
Well,
you can't throw to him. You can't throw to his receiver.
I know who the offensive dog of the week is.
Absolutely. And possibly even defensive if he keeps going.
Special teams.
Hey,
Everything.
We could just keep going.
Brandon
Just
Jenkins,
dog of the
MVP.
week. I think he could have been dog of the week on all sides of the field in the main South game and maybe even this game.
Phenomenal.
100%. Amazing player. On the interview I did with him, I don't know when we're going to run it, he said that his balance is one of the best parts of his game, and you see it there. He got tripped up, and he's able to stay on his feet 2 times.
Caught it on the 35 and ran it all the way back, breaking 2 tackles, I believe. Definitely broke 1 as he almost tripped over, but he stayed up.
You know, I'm going to be honest. Genuinely, that was like a Madden character that you put 99 speed on. He caught the ball, and he was gone.
Gone.
Down the field.
Gone like the wind, Brandon Jenkins.
This is Retro Bowl on easy difficulty.
Retro Bowl easy, 5-star wide receiver.
Wow, and that's one of the loud. I mean, I want to know what's funny. Looking down at the Hersey crowd, a lot of people getting their phones out after that one, letting them know about this Brandon Jenkins kid.
Well, you know how I said earlier the BG crowd was coming back. It looks like half of them have left. The BG crowd is slowly leaving, and it's not even halftime.
You know, Ryan, you're a bit more of a football analyst than I am. You watch it a lot more. In my opinion, I feel like Brandon should be playing wide receiver. I know I know he's got the skill at running back, but he's able to catch it. He can show that on defense.
The only issue with that is that
yards.
who do you put at running back after Brandon Jenkins is no longer there?
I agree.
That's the one
I'm
issue.
just saying, I think he
You
could
could
be
put Grant there,
great-
but Grant has that great ability to catch deep. I think
Yes,
Brandon
hops.
Jenkins is great with the screen pass,
Yeah.
which you could do at a running back position. So I think Brandon Jenkins is the perfect running back.
Well,
for
what
this.
Brandon
about
Jenkins
Logan
is-
Clark?
Logan Clark absolutely could be a running back. That kid can run through 4 guys and stay up.
Received deep in the backfield, coming out with it. Looks like it's Baker. Baker's going to be wrapped up quickly
And a nice
on the
tackle.
Chaden George Caucus.
Back from it being injured last game.
Another thing I want to say on the interview, Brandon Jenkins said that the reason he plays running back instead of wide receiver, I asked him, he goes, honestly, bro, it's way more fun.
I can totally see that. He gets to hit. He gets to block some guys.
Gets to
he
hit
gets
guys.
to just grab the ball and just run as fast as he can. He doesn't have to focus on running a route. And then he gets to also run some routes, get a little screen pass going.
1:18 to play here in this first half. This has been all Huskies, 42-0.
Yeah. I was going to say something I realized that I knew the answer to my own question.
Let's hear it. What was it?
I was going to say, well, shouldn't the running clock start? But you answered that previously saying it
Second
starts
half.
in the second half.
It will
Yeah.
start in the second half. I believe it's 40. It might be. It might be a little bit more. I think it's 40 though.
And so that's why I just went,
Yes. Cut yourself off. Hey, you're thinking. We like it. You're
Dangerous
thinking.
games. when Q-Tip is
Sometimes I like
thinking.
to think. Sometimes I
dangerous.
like to think.
When
Dangerous
Q-Tip
games.
gets the gears moving in the brain, you never know what's going to
You
come
never
out.
know. I might pull out another bruised muscle you've never heard of.
What was it? The bruised metatarsal?
The metatarsal. correct.
Unfortunately, Q-Tip's not going to be here next broadcast against Rolling Meadows.
I'm on vacation. My
Oh,
brother's
man.
wedding is
Congrats
due.
to Q-Tip's brother.
Congratulations. It'll be Ryan Antonucci in the booth.
Yeah, I don't see Antonucci. Oh, wait, there he is. Speaking of the devil, there's Antonucci down there with Tucker.
Tucker Heminger.
Tuck.
The PO. He moved to PO
Antonucci looks
recently.
like he's
PO
coming
now?
He's
up
a
here.
PO now.
Antonucci is going to come up here. We are now going to step back and see you on the camera.
So a great first half from the Huskies immediately. 42-0 after one half. Q-Tip, what else can we say about this half?
I think it's just, obviously it's teamwork, but individual player skills out here. So many amazing players, not just on defense, on offense as well. We've just, the team, the expandability, the things this team can do is insane.
Yeah, Johnny, I mean, what else do you have?
It's just all Huskies. BG has done almost nothing this entire game. We got people coming through the booth here. But BG's almost unable to do anything. We're going to cut to the field for the dance at halftime as Coach Repslack is giving me a little massage.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second half of tonight's explosive game. I'm Quentin Bursch here with Ryan Contreras-Betts and Johnny Fahey. Boys, any words on tonight?
It's just been dominant from the Huskies tonight. A shutout is not impossible tonight. It would be really hard for BG to score against this Hersey offense. RCB, how do you feel about it?
Phenomenal. I mean, you could just see, even with the mood down there on the sideline, I'm watching Colton Gamino right now. Massive smile on his face. He's jamming out, having a good time. I mean, there's just a difference. You know, he's playing around with Owen Joseph.
Almost just tackled the backup quarterback, Owen Joseph, on the field.
I mean, you just know that the vibe is phenomenal right now. A 42-0 lead after one half. Huskies can do no wrong right now. They've made very few mistakes, if any.
Yeah, the shutout is definitely not impossible tonight. The Husky defense has been great. People are just messing around during warm-ups. They're laughing around. I see a lineman down there trying to make some catches. I'm not sure who it is exactly, but they're just running around having a good time out there.
What do you boys think has been playing better for Hersey, the run game or the D-line?
Well, at the start of the game, wait, say it again?
The run game or the D-line / linebackers?
Well, I mean, the run game has been phenomenal tonight. The linebackers also have been great. The defense has been almost unstoppable. We've been stopped once on offense or no times on offense.
Scored on every drive.
Yeah, I feel like if I just said defense versus offense, it's kind of hard because both of them are insanely good.
We've just both been playing great.
I want to specify, though, run game versus our D-line. I feel like we've had a bunch of sacks, and the run game for BG has been impossible.
I would say our run game definitely has been great, but our defensive line has been better.
Absolutely.
I mean, not allowing any action to get going from the Bison. So we'll head back down to the field as we'll get second half action coming your way.
Black Beatles is playing in the OC and nobody is moving. Everyone's frozen.
You know what? It's a little cold out here.
It is a bit chilly out here. I don't think that's why they're frozen, though, Q-Tip.
Oh.
That's the trend with that song. Everyone goes still. They don't move.
I know music. I was just testing you, John.
Were you?
I didn't think you were going to know that. And you blew out my expectations.
All right. Oh, should be jamming out to some Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
Don't worry, baby.
You just call my name.
I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry. Cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. And ain't no vibes good enough.
It looks like Jack
Here.
Foster's going to be kicking this one.
Jack Foster, another
Media.
media legend.
Another one. We messed up earlier in the year. We said Reed McKinney was Zell Walton. That was a huge mix-up. And now every time I see Zell in the hallways, I say, "What's up, Reed?" And he gives me a little
And
laugh.
I think we do the reverse for
Exact same
Reed.
thing
We
for
say,
Reed.
"What's
We say, "What's up,
Zell?"
Zell?"
Well,
Jack Foster coming out the kick, though, in this blowout game so far.
Just gotta say, as the great DJ Khaled would say, another one. As Foster with the boot.
Pretty good kick there.
Inside the 10, taking out of the backfield was Brannis. He breaks through one tackle, and he's brought down by
That's
who
going to be
else?
a Parker Flaherty.
Looks like Charlie Kaklanis was in
Yeah,
on
it
that one,
looked like
too.
Charlie
Nice little
Kaklanis.
hit. Young Kaklanis.
Excuse me, I said 32. It might have been 23, actually. That's going to be Ben Martin.
I saw that as well. Charlie Kaklanis, just a sophomore in this game now. Looks like Zell Walton will
It
be in
looks
at
like the
corner now.
whole secondary is coming in. Excuse me, mostly sophomores are coming in.
I mean, Luca Klanis is not out there. Sorry, that's 26. That's Leo Cohen at DB. Good friend of mine. And Zell Walton also at DB.
Starters still in for the Bison. They're obviously trying to salvage whatever lessons they can out of this game.
Blake Peralt playing safety. Ball's up. And I mean, that screen pass, it's every time it's been incomplete. I don't think they've maybe completed one or two screen passes this whole game.
Yeah.
Most of them have been short.
Yeah, we've seen mostly short. We've seen some receivers just dropping the ball. What do you think's going wrong for BG?
The quarterback just really can't control the arm. I mean, he's got the power. He's just not giving it enough on a few of them. On a few of these throws, especially the short ones, he's just not giving it enough. And on the deep ones, he's giving it way too much. So he needs to just be able to go with the flow and control it.
Do you think it's stress? Do you think it's nerves? Or do you think it's just practice?
I think a little bit more work needs to be done at practice, but I mean, nerves could also be a huge thing. And another drop ball.
Might be the 4th or 5th drop on a beautiful ball.
I mean, nothing against this quarterback. This quarterback has been throwing some really good balls tonight, and the receivers just
They seem to not be on the same page.
They can't seem to just hold on to the ball.
Yeah.
Luca Clanis had a nice strip earlier in the game, but there's been a few where they've been wide open and still have dropped it right in their hands. BG offense, not what it once was.
Huskies already beating the score from last year, winning 35-0, now up 42-0.
And it is running clock now, and there's a wide open man on the right. And it's going to go over his head.
That's going to be number 21 or 12. Didn't see exactly.
Oliver Cohen with the pick. The brother duo out there on defense.
No, that's number 32, Parker Flaherty.
Wow. I totally missed that. It looked like 12. My apologies.
Speaking of brother duos,
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Speaking of brother, yeah, exactly. I did see number 12 or number 21.
12 is out on the field, not even in the game anymore. I don't know what I'm talking about.
But it did. Parker Flaherty, 32 with the pick there, and it might have been him with the tackle earlier. It's hard for me to see over here. I'm not gonna lie.
Owen Joseph into the game as the second team offense. We'll get some reps in.
Love to see Owen Joseph out there. Everybody loves Owen.
Last year he was a perfect 8 for 8 in game time.
Owen lives right next to Hersey. House was TP'd, as Q-Tip said earlier.
19, Zell Walton, ball carrier.
Zell Walton is replacing Brandon Jenkins at running back.
Zell's also one of the faster kids that I know.
Boys think if such an athletic, great quarterback of Colton Gamino wasn't playing here, is Owen Joseph on the level?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Owen Joseph is a fantastic quarterback. It's just he's got such tough competition, and Colton Gamino came in, transferred. He's been unbelievable at quarterback this entire time. It's hard to compete with someone that's committed at UCLA for.
And they make each other better. They really do. I know OJ pushes Colton in practice to be better each and every day. I mean, me and Johnny talked about this last year.
I've been at a few of their practices. Owen Joseph likes to go in and they like to do a little scrimmage back and forth, and Owen loves to give Colton a little bit of competition there at quarterback.
It's going to be Jeremy Zarro.
Jeremy Zarro.
Getting a big
the
reception.
man, the myth, the legend.
I mean, but what I know, me and Johnny talked about this last year, maybe not on air, but off air. Owen Joseph is one of the smartest football minds we know.
He's just got the IQ. He's an animal. As their Blasik fiend, like I said earlier, in the OC, I'm hoping that plays a few more times. Got to be a part of that at a few away games. That is the loudest I've ever heard the Orange Crush. Confetti going flying as well.
Joseph with a nice pitch to Walton. Walton cuts to the right side. He's wrapped up by a couple.
I mean, even the backups they don't want to go down. They want the yards. They want to score. They just got the fight in them. They want it more than the other team.
I mean, backups, mostly sophomores to be speaking of here. Why wouldn't they want to try to get as much yards as they can? They've got potential. They're young. They could still get plays next year for varsity. Why wouldn't they be trying to prove themselves now?
They're just ripping through these guys.
Shotgun formation for Joseph. He's got Walton in the backfield with him.
Just 6 minutes, 45 seconds left in the third quarter.
OJ takes some time in the pocket, fires one down to the right sideline, and it's hauled in.
That's Sebastian Singleton, the sophomore wide receiver.
1 for 1 on the night, Owen Joseph. Ball had a lot of velo coming out there. Looked like it was a pretty hard throw.
OJ ever play baseball growing up?
I'm sure he played T-ball. I'm not 100% sure.
Athletic kid, I know Owen is.
Nice little bullet pass there.
Double tapped on Retro Bowl.
Definitely an athlete there.
Here's Walton running through the left, break, tackling. That didn't even make sense, what I just said. Trying to say he ran through the left gap.
Yeah, you know, Zell might have more speed than Brandon Jenkins, but his ability to stay up is pretty impressive.
Q-Tip looks like he's stepping outside to get a view of the game. It's pretty hard to see in this booth with 3 people. A little bit crowded. He's just stepping right outside.
I am outside of the door right now.
From the outside looking in, it's Q-Tip. Ball down on the 13-yard line. Huskies once again in the red zone. They've been perfect thus far tonight. Shotgun formation. Receiver in motion. Joseph takes the snap, handing it off to Walton, who rushes through the right gap. Gains a couple, should be a first down.
Like you were saying earlier with Owen, he's just got the IQ. You could ask him any play in the book, he'll know it. He's committed to this team, absolutely, and he puts in so much effort. It's 110% with Owen every single play.
I mean, really this whole Huskies squad. I know last year we did a podcast with Colton and Carson. We're not able to post that one due to audio issues, but Colton gave a real detailed description of the playbook, and it's almost a good thing that we didn't end up using it because it would have given some teams advantages.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, he also,
Intended receiver Drew Frank there.
I wouldn't have expected it from Colton. I mean, just the way he described everything, I was like, man, that just shows you what a next-level quarterback is when they're able to describe the playbook from memory like that.
There's not a lot of low IQ players on this team, if any.
I don't think I can think of a single one.
They all know what they're doing.
I feel like I could think of a few.
Q-tip with shots fired
Q-tip
again.
with the negative shots, as always.
It's whatever floats your boat, Johnny.
2nd and goal for the Huskies. Walton rushes out to the outside, breaks one tackle and hit hard.
Pops right back up, though. Zell's another kid who will just get hit, and he'll get right back up. He does not care whatsoever. And, I mean, this running clock is unbelievable. I look over every few seconds, it feels like, and it's already 3 minutes left in the quarter.
Yeah,
I haven't heard this song in a long time, Johnny.
Roxanne.
I have not heard that in quite some time.
Who's the singer for that song?
I cannot remember for the life of me.
Little TJ probably.
I don't think it's little TJ. I'm going to be honest here.
3rd down, Joseph in the pocket, scrambling out to his right. And he's going to throw in the end
God.
zone and is caught for a touchdown.
2 for 2 on the night. Again, he knows when to scramble. He knows when he knows exactly where the line of scrimmage is.
That's Jeremy Zarro.
Jeremy Zarr with another touchdown and a touchdown against Elk Grove. Little over-the-head basket catch. It was very nice.
Once again, the hands going up and down. The 7th touchdown of the night for the Huskies.
Are they going for a 2-point? I do not see a kicker out there.
I wouldn't totally. Yeah, no, they definitely are going for 2 here.
They want to hit 50. I can tell you head coach Tom Nelson wants to see a 50 spot on the board. Pitch out to Zell. He has to cut through one tackle. He's now going to be wrapped up by a few, and he's going to be about 1.5 yards short. So, not able to convert on the 2-point play.
You know, him and Josh Riggs might have the yard short curse. Seems to be their specialty.
So, my dad claims that the Police sing Roxanne,
He's
but
thinking of
he's thinking of a different
Roxanne.
song because the Police definitely did not make the song that they were just singing.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know that Roxanne.
My
but
mom also texted saying the Police sing Roxanne.
Let's take a look. I'll make sure who this is. Let's take a look. Not 100% sure, actually.
So the Huskies with their 7th touchdown of the evening as they get prepared for another kickoff. Q-Tip, what did you see on that play?
I mean, I just saw the sophomores and the juniors and the younger players stepping up, trying to fulfill their role, trying to solidify their spot on the team for next year. And I think we're going to see that a lot in this fourth quarter, or heading into this fourth quarter, 2 minutes, 25 seconds left.
Zell Walton is just an animal, does not want to go down. Jeremy Zarro had a nice little catch on that one as well. Owen Joseph knew exactly what he was doing, knew exactly where every single one of the players is, just showing that off that IQ that we were just talking about.
Olaf on the kick now.
Yeah, it looks like trying out a few different kickers here. Olaf does have a boot. He was also in my business class, got a schedule change though, so now he's no longer in there.
Monster leg. Dropped in the end zone.
No, goes into the end zone, touchback.
I just ran into the wall.
Q-tip running into the walls, the klutz.
That might be a quote. I just ran into a wall.
That's definitely
Well, I
one in the
think
book.
everybody heard it and looked at me, and everybody saw me.
You just heard a little,
jump
little bump there.
backwards.
Here comes the BG offense now. I believe it's still the starters out there. Little flip over, and it'll be down about a gain of 2.
Tripped up over his own feet there, it looked like.
Matthew Caput, the running back there.
Nick Jalaka on the tackle.
Nice little tackle there.
I mean, so many sophomores out there. You got Parker Flaherty, Zell Walton, Nick Jalaka. I can't really name them all right now.
I mean, the
but
sophomore core is just unreal.
absolutely.
We're going to have a nice team for a few years to come here. The Cohen brothers will be seniors next year. Oliver will be back at that time, obviously.
Leo,
Ball
I
snap.
believe, wants to go into the Orange Crush, though.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah. Leo's big
That's
fan
a
of the Orange Crush. He
run
says
down.
he wants to lead it.
It's a nice catch. He's going to make it down to about the 45, the Huskies 45.
Surprised not to see Johnny leading the Orange Crush this year.
You know, I was offered by a few people. I love the booth, though. I couldn't say no to the booth. I get to go to be in the Orange Crush and at some of the away games. I'll be there next week for Prospect. Real excited for that game. I think we'll beat them very swiftly. I think we got a pretty good shot, but it's fun. I get to do a little bit of both. We're going to back up here as that's the end of the third quarter.
I mean, the running clock really does wonders for the game speed. I mean, what time is it, 8:20?
Just 12 minutes left in the game
Yeah,
already.
I mean, we've already gotten to a point where we'll be out of here in 30 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. Great crowd here at Roland Goins.
This is
like
what happens.
always.
This is what happens when you put a monster team onto a field. Like you'll just come back. You're up 48. 12 minutes left in the game, no matter what, unless there's a timeout. As we're going to come back into the field here. Looks like Nick Alquist is done for the night, taking off the helmet, ready to go. Great night for him. I still think defensive dog of the week here. Husky defense out there again. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 45. 1st and 10 on the Husky 45, sorry. A little screen pass there. He finally completes one. And that's a reception from Tyler Baker.
You know, Baker's been one of the more targeted receivers of this Bison core so far here
Definitely
this
the
evening.
key target for the receiving core for BG.
But he only has a couple of receptions. He has been targeted at least 10 times, but I would say no more than 3 receptions.
I just want to point out something, boys. You see cornerback Owen Pham out there for Hersey. He's not the tallest person you've ever seen, but he's got legs. How do you think he'll impact the game?
I actually don't know him personally at all.
Owen Pham competed on Junior American Ninja Warrior back in elementary
Yes, he
school.
did.
That is quite impressive. I actually don't know him personally
He
at
is a
all.
very athletic individual. He's about
yes.
5'5", though.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, to do American Ninja Warrior, you got to be quite athletic.
I remember when that story was going around, I had just entered middle school, but my brother actually is in the same grade as Owen. And
Used
my
to watch that back in the OG days with my
OG
sisters. Yes, that's
Yep.
a great show.
Phenomenal show. Still going.
Yes, it
Going
is so
strong.
good. Haven't watched in a while though. Might have to tune in for a few episodes.
That's a great key point. You know, one of my favorites, Akbar Gajabamiala.
Yes,
Man, I butchered that name. Former NFL player.
and he's gonna break a tackle there. Looks like Tyler Baker again.
I just want to shout out once again, in case you didn't hear earlier, Johnny Fahey. It's his birthday.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Johnny.
And he's doing some play-by-play here in this fourth quarter.
Yep.
I did accidentally steal his role. The
Was
first
not
3
stolen.
quarters.
Absolutely deserved. RCB, you deserved it absolutely.
Think of this as my birthday gift to you, as just got to say, flashing lights. Pretty phenomenal song. The
Phenomenal
OC
song.
has been.
It is blasting, and the BG. I just looked over at the BG student
They
section.
put
It
out
is
the
gone.
lights.
There is about 20 people left in that student section. As I believe that's number 9.
It's going to be their first touchdown of the night for the BG Buffaloes.
It was-
Bison.
Oh, excuse me.
Ball carrier was number
Different
10.
species, you know,
Jacob-
same lineage.
Jacob Hensley with their first touchdown of the night.
Jacob Hensley, one of the starters, so still in the game.
RCB is dancing to Flashing Lights by Kanye West. It'll be 48-6. Just 9 minutes left in this game. You know, as we're winding down, who do you think is the dogs of the game, as we were talking about earlier? I think Nick Alquist for defense, absolutely.
How can you ignore Brendan Jenkins?
You can't.
Yeah, Brendan Jenkins for offense, I think it's almost a lock.
He had a 70-yard pick six.
The issue is I don't think they can give it offense and defense, and I think he's got it offensively. And it looks like the kick just barely got through.
Well, it's just so many plays. You got Johnny Gata, you got Luco Clanis.
It'll be a tough pick this week for sure.
Do you really think Nick Alquist has it?
I mean, he's got the forced fumble, and he's got a few huge hits on the quarterback.
I mean, we can disagree on our pick.
Absolutely.
I just like to keep an open mind.
Who's your pick this week?
Offense, I think it has to be Brandon
Jenkins for sure.
100%.
Unanimous.
Defense.
Here comes Fiend again. Crowd is going wild.
You know, I'm struggling on defense. I could agree with you that Nick Alquist could be given Defensive Player of the Week, but I just don't know if I fully am 100% on it. We have so many good players.
All right, you got to pick one. Who's your pick?
I don't know, man. This is RCB. Let me hear your thoughts first.
I would take Luco Clanis. I loved his work in the secondary tonight. Stopping the air game. I mean, this quarterback,
had a few pretty big
Spadale,
strips.
has a good arm strength, and he did make some nice shots downfield. But there was Clanis on nearly every play.
Well, then I'm taking Johnny Gata. Almost every tackle we hear, that's Johnny Gata.
We got 3 different picks. I take Nick Alquist, and everyone's got Brandon Jenkins for offense.
Special teams, honestly, I'm going to give it to my boy Chase Reese. Perfect on extra points.
Totally.
His kickoff work is
I'm
phenomenal.
giving it to Grant Collada.
Ooh, good pick, too.
That is a good pick as well.
Return, one short by 1 yard, one in the end zone.
Here comes the kickoff. They started with the onside kick. Didn't really go their way. Gave Huskies great field position, and they got down in 4 plays at the start. Just not what you want to see from the Bison. As there's a little squib kick. I'm not 100% sure if that was on purpose. Receiving it is 29. Peyton Schultz.
Peyton Schultz with speed there.
Peyton Schultz, a nice little basketball player for the Huskies as well.
Peyton Schultz transferred last year from Vider.
Nice little basketball player.
Peyton Schultz.
Here comes Fiend again for the 3rd time. 3rd time in 3 quarters.
Funny. You see Logan Farrell down there running the drone. He doesn't seem too happy. Who's that next to him?
That looks like Alex Fiore.
Alex Fiore. He immediately, when they played Fiend again, he dropped his head.
3rd time in 10 minutes. I've had some complaints from the football players saying that, because I was kind of running it that first game that they started doing it, and now they're keeping it going. And I had some complaints about me. That's 23. Ben Martin with a run there.
Well, Ben Martin getting some reps at running back.
Ben Martin injured a couple years back. We didn't really play that many minutes freshman year.
Yeah.
The only reason I know these stats is because I know so many of these guys personally. Most of them juniors, most of them I have classes with.
Yeah. Q, I do know you had my brother in a class last year. Were you a good dude to him, or were you mean, Q?
RCB, I did not say a word to your brother. I am going to be brutally honest with you.
Owen Joseph, a deep ball. Oh. Just barely able to get a hand on it as number 88, Sebastian Singleton, the sophomore. They're playing Fiend again. It's a remix now. They're playing Fiend remix.
I have never heard of Fiend remix. That's nuts.
They're getting ready to go.
This does not sound whatsoever
I
like
thought it was Fiend. I'm going to be honest. It sounded like Travis Scott at the start. I pulled a Q-tip, and I said it was Travis Scott.
Oh, I don't think we have to make a thing out of this, pulling a Q-tip.
Pulled a Q-tip. I said the wrong thing. I think that's the new word that we're going to use for it.
Wow, wrapped up
Well,
again.
why
That's
can't
72.
I say pulling a Johnny?
Well, you did it first. That's why.
I could say a lot of things that are pulling a Johnny. He pulls a lot of things.
Yes. Thank you, RCP.
Little inside joke between me and Johnny.
That's a good one, RCB. I like it.
Championship game was fire, too.
Yes.
Huskies at the 50-yard line. Playing phenomenal still, this second team. OJ back in the pocket.
Oh, just barely blocked by it. That was a nice defensive play by 45 there. It's Cole Diaz.
Yeah, that was a really, really strong play.
Passing 10D, Cooper Mullen.
Second time we've heard Roxanne not by the police.
My mom's still wondering who's that by the way. Has anybody
I tried
found?
to look it up. I couldn't find it.
No, I will do some research real quickly here. Don't want to steal the play-by-play from Johnny
It
anymore.
is by Arizona Zervis.
Just so you guys know, Owen Joseph just took a punt. He punted it, the quarterback.
Well, we had Colton Punt is our main punter as a quarterback. And now here comes Owen Joseph with a punt. Here comes the defense probably for the last time. 3 minutes, 44 seconds left in the game.
Owen Pham was on the tackle. We talked about him earlier.
A lot of the Huskies are leaving right now. The BG student section is almost nobody.
You know, a lot of these players on our field now, on our side of the field, excuse me, are JV players. Do you know how our JV team's doing this year?
Our JV team has been unbelievable the past few years. They lost their first game in, I think, 6 years last
kidding.
year. Yes.
It's been 6 years. I knew it's been a streak of multiple years.
They lost it last year in a game against Prospect, I believe.
Wow.
But, I mean, Coach Locke for the JV squad is unbelievable.
Coach Locke is phenomenal.
He's great. I think he's helping out with girls flag football this year as well.
I believe he is.
The girls flag football team has been playing phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think they're 11-2.
I believe that's correct.
First in their regional.
I
My
mean,
mom is the coach at Highland Park for the
Really? I
girls
did not
flag
know
football
that.
team.
How are they doing?
They're doing fine.
Shout out Mrs. Fahey
A few
once
wins
again.
here and there. They'll
Nice tackle there.
be stopped right in front of the first down, I believe.
Ooh, homecoming on homecoming night. Such a good song.
Q-Tip, you excited for homecoming tomorrow? You going to the dance?
Yep.
All right. Thank you for
Q-Tip,
the
are you going to
in-depth
make
answer.
another great homecoming video like you did last year?
Believe it or not, we had media class today, and I forgot to grab a camera.
Wow.
You're kidding.
Great.
I am not kidding.
Emily's laughing at Q-Tip now for
Emily
forgetting
wanted to make another. Oh,
and another just right
I mean,
through the
it was
hands
an
of the receiver.
iconic clip at the start of the year. Hey guys, it's Q-Tip and
No, 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 no,
homecoming.
no,
Whoa,
it's-
whoa, whoa,
no, no,
whoa,
no, no,
I'll
no,
be
no.
there for
Oh,
you.
It's always,
What up, y'all?
It's always the what up,
Q-Tip
y'all.
here.
It's always the what up,
What up, y'all? You're
It's
right.
never anything different.
But he did say, and homecoming was wild.
Absolutely. Twas.
And
It
homecoming
was.
was crazy.
It was T'_DWAS.
D?
Twas.
Twas T'_WAS.
Twas the night before Christmas.
There's a D in that?
There's no,
No,
D.
there's
Where
no
did you
D.
get
I thought
D?
you spelled D. I apologize.
T'_WAS.
But I thought you said D. That's on me.
I actually believe I did. I'm just gaslighting you.
Okay, what?
Twas the night before
I think
homecoming.
I was like T'_WAS. And then that's where you heard the D from.
Q-Tip, what kind of dance moves you breaking out tomorrow?
I'm a big, whatever that one's called.
He's hitting the disco
hitting the
fever
disco
from Fortnite.
fever. Hit a little of the Charlie Brown ever?
I'm actually not sure what that is.
I'm
You don't
not
know the
su-
Charlie Brown?
I don't know.
It's the knees.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Big orange justice guy. You'll see me pulling out the default dance.
Default dance.
Nice tackle there. 1
Q-Tip.
minute left in this game.
I might hit the wiggle.
They're playing fiend for the fifth
Oh
time
my
tonight.
goodness. Oh, man.
The fourth time this quarter, the fifth
The
time tonight.
sideline is not happy.
The sideline is yelling at him to turn it off. Looks like the parents aren't happy either.
Parents are wondering what's going on.
Parents are leaving after hearing this song again.
And a little tip pass there. 27 seconds left in this game. It's going to wind down.
Well, the Huskies did a phenomenal job tonight.
Looks like they're going to try to get one more playoff. Looks like they're going to try to get one more playoff here. Or they might just hold it. Ball is going to be snapped in time. Ball is up deep into the end zone, and it'll be dropped as the time runs out.
No chance on that ball.
Well, your Huskies,
That was
Johnny and
weird.
I had the same thing. Your Huskies come out with a 48-7 victory, absolutely drubbing the competition. Johnny Q-Tip, what words do you have on this final?
Not much to say about this game other than pure domination. This team is smoking every team that they played recently. They beat Maine South pretty good. I mean, this team is hard to stop with our offense and defense right now. I think we'll have an undefeated season the rest of the way. I think we'll keep going. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Our mics are